This is Rooted Cosmic Soul, sacrificing the patriarchy from a broom closet in the here and the there, offering rememberings in times of chaos, confusion, love, and belonging.
So I'm recording this broom closet from the outdoors. I'm sitting along the water in a park. It's the middle of the day, so, not too many people. It's kind of nice. Though many of us are currently unemployed due to current circumstances of an upside down world. So there are people out here with me, but not too many. But I'm watching a murder of crows ward off a hawk that I believe has been attempting to eat the ground squirrels. Some people call them marmots. Some people call them groundhogs. I know they're not all the same animal. I don't know what this particular scurrying underground tunnel creature is, but there's lots of them. And it just has been really interesting to watch this happen. While also my dog Onyx has been in a standoff with quite a few of these little ground squirrels. So just sitting here watching nature, but I thought about those of us who are on our healing journeys. I was thinking about in terms of who the crow is, who would be the crow in my current healing process. And I feel like the crow could signify my shadow self, in terms of my shadow pieces arrived, right, to protect me from dangers, particularly when I was a child, when I did not have the resources, the knowledge, the ability to protect myself. My shadow parts are that which was protecting me from the hawks that were attempting to harm me. But what happens when, nature is constantly trying to seek balance. So maybe there's so many of these ground squirrels. It almost feels like there is a slight infestation, but, what do I know? And I love you, ground squirrels. No harm meant, but I am just wondering if the hawk is meant to come in and pick off a few of these ground squirrels to keep things in balance and harmony. And that the crows are just so used to protecting, regardless of anything else, that it could cause an imbalance. And that's kind of, for those of us on our healing journeys, of trying to figure out when do we call off our shadow pieces, when and how. Our shadow parts who are protecting us from the hawk of yesterday, but as adults now, the hawk of today needs to come in and take some of these protections that have been instilled in us that are no longer necessary, and can create more space for something else to birth. The hawk needs to come in and pluck out, remove, create an ending, so that in that opening, a beginning can be birthed. I don't really know how one does that other than this here processing, sharing, shining. For me, my healing is about using my voice, shining, taking up space, because my shadow pieces taught me how to not shine, to not use my voice, to not take up space in order to make it to adulthood. But here I am, and that way of moving just doesn't work anymore. So I have deep gratitude for the crows in my inner world, and I don't need all of you to back off. I need some of that energy definitely to help protect me from other incoming BS. But I needed to let the hawks through, to do some spring cleaning, to let it take that which I no longer need, so that I can birth something new. What are your inner crows doing? Is there a hawk that you might want to let in to help clear out and birth something new? I'm getting the message to remind us in these times there's so much that eclipse energy and Neptune and Venus in retrograde, this new world that we're stepping in terms of opening up the energy, that maybe some of what the hawk can take is grief and anger that we've experienced. It ran through our system as it needed to run through our system, and now it's time to release it. Not in avoidance, but like the grief and anger that we've processed, and the healing aspect is the intention for the hawk to take it. We don't need it anymore. As I'm saying this to you, a crow just came and landed feet away from me. Ashe. Ashe. The crow within us will know what is to be kept and what is to be released and let go, so that we are not trapped by the weight of holding on to that which we no longer need to hold on to. I just had this thought. I was like, maybe that, like, you could correlate that with forgiveness. Like, that's part of this is forgiving ourselves. And when we're ready, forgive ourselves and forgive those who have trespassed against us. To make space. To make space. There's now 3 crows hanging out. To make space for this continued healing journey, continued awakening, continued ascension, continued understanding, like continued growth, continued transformation, whatever language suits you. I like the language of awakening and ascending, healing journey, but it could, it could be whatever words or imagery works for you. And in this process, this intentional process of crow versus hawk versus ground squirrel, whatever that breakdown is for you, as I sit here looking out on this beautiful bay day with the sun shining off the water, like, let it flow. Let it flow. Don't think that we need it all to be in this super linear process that is falsely transparent, right? A lot of this work is going to be super deep within us and under, at our core, in the cauldron of our little witchy selves. And we can practice, just sort of letting that be. So I'm watching the ducks on the water, and they're just, letting the waves move them. I mean, their little feet are moving a little bit, I would imagine. I don't know what ducks do with their little feet, though, underwater. But it appears that they are all just flowing. They're floating, going with the flow. And that could also be a message for us of, like, maybe you're not ready to let the hawk in, and that's okay too. It's enough to, like, contemplate. Maybe, at some point I might want to let the hawk in so that the hawk can swoop in and take what it needs to take so that I can move to the next path, stage, process. All the things that nature can teach us. I've been really upset about being unemployed in this new world of anti-DEI and fear of self-inquiry. But, days like this of being really slow and unemployed, I can see it's such a gift. In some ways, it's really stressful. And then there's moments like this where I'm like, oh, I don't know that I would have noticed this whole dynamic if I were busy, being busied by the construct. I wouldn't be outside. I'd be inside, meeting with people, having back-to-back meetings. So I'm grateful for this moment, even as it comes within the stress of unemployment. It's gorgeous out here. Thank you, nature. Thank you, goddess. God's guardians, ancestors, spirit guides, higher self, soul. I'm grateful.
This is Rooted Cosmic Soul, sacrificing the patriarchy from a broom closet. The energy here stays here. The energy there stays there. I'll sense you later. Returned when moved to do so. Same Bruja time, same Bruja channel.